Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Fahd Dawood. I talk about real estate, your life and my life, and our path to financial bliss. Now, I get a lot of people asking me questions, and I love it. I love it because it gives me an opportunity to interact with you. Perhaps I make a serious difference in the investments that you're about to undertake. So I thought, hey, let me just get around to answering some of the several questions that I've received so that people can benefit. Let me make them question per video so that sometimes people have asked me some questions that is going to make a difference to the investment that they're undertaking, so I don't want them to miss out on them. Okay, so let's just go one by one. Before we go further, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. Come on, yo, get me my subscribers, and it makes me and encourages me to make more. Okay, let's get down to the question. This was in response to a video that I'd made on evaluating a property before buying and its importance. So I'd essentially talked about how important it is to evaluate an opportunity or a property in the right way. It's not something like you just go up to the developer or to a certain property and just allow the agent, who's a salesperson in most of the cases, which is fine. I'm a salesperson too. I sell my services as well. But you can't just approach a salesperson whose job is to sell you that thing. Like, so for instance, this Staedtler pencil made in Germany, right? My job, if it was to sell you this, I'd make you see this pencil as the best pencil ever created, which probably it is. But anyways, that's besides the point. But your job to evaluate the particular opportunity is different. Now, you either have an advisor like myself or somebody who knows what they're doing, who'll help you end to end, or you learn to do it yourself. Okay, so this was a question in response to this. Okay, the question, sir, want to ask you why these days developers are selling their off-plan projects with cash 40 to 45% discount on selling price if we will pay in full cash, and is it safe to do so in Abu Dhabi? Okay, I love answering this question because while reading this, I've actually really understood the question now properly. So here's how Dubai works in off-plan situation, right? So those who are new to this situation, let me just explain it to you, and so that the answer I give to the question is going to make a ton of sense, okay? Generally speaking, the question is asking about off-plan properties. Off-plan essentially states or means or equals to under construction properties. So here's essentially what happens, okay? The builder or the developer launches a project, asks you to pay a down payment of 10%, and then collects that money and bills 10%. Then says, hey, Mr. Buyer, another 20% is due, pay me another 20%, and then it goes further up. Hey, Mr. Buyer, another 30% is due, and then the builder takes 30% and bills that, okay? Now, what essentially speaking the builder is doing is taking your money and building it, okay? The developer has a certain margin, right? If his cost for that construction, let's just assume, is 100 dirhams or $100, when he sells you, obviously he sells you at a profit. He's not going to sell you the apartment or the property at 100 dirhams. He's going to sell it to you at 300 or 400 dirhams, for example. So when the developer takes, generally speaking, 30% of the apartment, so if he sold it to you for 400 and 30% equals to $125 or dirhams, essentially speaking, the developer is covering the cost of the entire project, which is why, generally speaking, the developer is able to say to you, look, pay us 30% during construction and the balance 70% upon completion. Now, it's not always like this. Sometimes developers ask you for the full amount of money during construction. So each time they build, they ask you for money. Sometimes developers will borrow money from the bank, right? And they will not take your money except when it's completed. So there's a lot of things that come into play when you're buying off plan and what the developer is trying to achieve here. Okay, here's the essential situation, okay? You know how the market situation is at present, okay? Sales are slightly slow. Developers are struggling. Okay, there's not news because it's not just developers in Dubai, it's the world over, right? The world economy is kind of like in interesting times. I think Dubai is faring really well because the government stepped in, opened the borders, Emirates flying to several cities, malls are open now, while they're taking care of social distancing. So, coming back to your question, imagine the developer situation now, right? He or she knows the uncertain times are coming up. What should I do? Let me try to grab as much cash that I can. So my construction of this building, tower, townhouse, villa, project will be easier. Now I, as the developer, am willing to give you a large discount, 40 to 45%, if you will pay me cash upfront completely. Okay, now check this out. I speak about Dubai because Dubai has got a very good regulatory environment. Okay, the last 20 years, I think Dubai, at least in the Middle East, in my personal opinion, and I've got 14 years invested in real estate, my personal time, investment, money, etc. I see that Dubai has got an excellent regulatory framework, and even with Dubai having an excellent regulatory framework, things still happen. So the government fully supports complete transparency, but you gotta watch out and think with your own common sense, right? Because sometimes developers or the tier 3 or tier 4 or the not so scrupulous developers will try to pull a fast one over your eyes. Now here's the thing. How does things work in Dubai? In Dubai, all monies that you pay have to be paid in an escrow account. That escrow account, or money from that escrow account, then goes to only the construction of that project. Now, it's not uncommon for developers who are giving you a 40-45% discount to ask you for that money outside of the escrow account, which means that outside the escrow account, it goes unprotected. The developer can sometimes choose to do whatever they want. That's number one. So you gotta be careful that the money is not getting paid outside the escrow account. You gotta understand, when you're sitting at the table and the developer is willing to give you a 40-45% discount, the developer is going to dictate terms and they're gonna tell you, we're not taking money into an escrow account. Now, I don't know how the Abu Dhabi rules fare, how the regulatory environment is there. So I can't make this comment. I do know in Dubai, if you put your money in an escrow account, even if it was there 10 years ago, it is fairly safe. Okay? In other places, I don't know. I cannot comment on that place, Abu Dhabi, Ajman, Sharjah, on the regulatory environment over there. You got to do some more research and speak to the experts over there. But I do know that Dubai's got the best regulatory framework in the entire Middle East to protect you and your savings. Okay, that's number one. So if you pay outside the escrow, you're at risk. Number two, when you're buying at 45% less than market price, if you're getting a 45% discount of the developer's price, you got to pay attention to something. Because I was with the developer 2 days ago and we were negotiating for a client of mine, a large villa. The price associated with that villa in the developer's list price is 7.5 million. Okay, now the developer said, took a calculator, did some calculations and said, we're willing to sell this to you at 25% discount, which comes to about 5.5 million, 5.6 million. Now here's the thing, okay? Guess what? 5.6 million, okay? So ignore the negative sign over there, but 5.6 million is what he's willing to give it to me at. Guess what? The current market price of that villa is about 4.9 to 5.5 million. That's the current market price. So if a developer is telling you that we're willing to give you 25% discount of our list price, makes no sense, because you, the buyer, don't know the market price. Or if you know the market price, then you know that that discount 40 to 45% isn't genuinely real, right? So in this scenario, the discount isn't really off of market price. The discount is actually over list price. So if market price of this pencil is $20, but my selling price of this pencil is $40, and I come and tell you, hey, I'll give you a 50% discount and you can have this pencil for $20. I didn't really give you a discount. Now you might ask me, well, that might be in that scenario where properties are completed. How can you judge that on a off-plan incomplete property? Very simple. You look at, my hair's gone long, gotta get a haircut after Eid. You look at comparables of that property in per square foot price. So if a certain property is selling at 800 dirhams per square foot today in the market at ready price, a developer that gives you a payment plan should be able to sell it at 850, 950 dirhams per square foot. So 150 dirhams is the premium to the payment plan that you're getting. But if the developer has priced it in his list at 1500 dirhams per square foot, but is then giving you a discount to 800 dirhams, it's not really a discount. I hope I've been able to get my message across. The other thing you gotta keep a lookout is if the developer is taking money outside of escrow account, you gotta be super careful. It's unscrupulous. It's not really fair. No, but it's fair because you're gonna get a discount, but it's a risk you're gonna be taking. I don't advise for it. I'd advise against it, and I'd advise being careful about it. Ciao for now. Happy investing. Do your due diligence. There is no issues with real estate in Dubai if you do your due diligence and buy value. You will not be a casualty. You will end up making money. Just use an expert, which is me. I do charge a very hefty fee working with me one-on-one. So if you do reach out to me, I'm happy to let you know how you can. If you've got general questions, put it down in the comment section below, or you can reach out to me with questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Ciao for now. Catch you on the other side. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you'll get to know if I've answered your question. Bye. See ya.